Hi friends, welcome back to our second online yoga class with Confluence Cycle and Yoga. I'm going to be moving us around a little bit more today than I did the first time around. We've been probably a little bit more sedentary in these past few days, so I want us to get our blood moving and the fire built inside of us. So let's come onto the mat, onto our backs, and we're going to bring our feet below our knees. So Ardha Shavasana, which is half Shavasana, half corpse pose. And just find a moment here on your mat to get centered and to leave everything that you may have brought with you to the mat outside of the mat. How are you meeting the mat? How is your breath landing in your body? If you're feeling any tension, let it go with every single exhale. And find a lightness with your inhales. Take this opportunity to focus on your sankalpa, your affirmation, and carry it with you through your practice. Let's take 3 more intentful breaths in and out. Feeling your belly swell, your ribcage expand, and then letting it all out. Taking 1 more deep breath in, and let it out. We're going to find some dynamic bridge moves. So we're going to bring our arms down by our sides. When we inhale, we're going to press our hips towards the sky. We're going to lift our hands overhead, feeling the stretch, finishing our inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower down. And as we finish our exhale, hands land on the mat. And then inhale, peel your spine up off of the mat, reaching overhead. And then exhale, coming down. This is a beautiful full body warm up. Inhale, lift up overhead, lifting your hips skyward. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhaling, lowering down. Nice inhale. And exhale. And 1 more inhale. And out. Next inhale, draw your knees to your chest, your forehead to your knees. Squeeze yourself into a tiny little cannonball. Squeeze. And then rock and roll. Take 3 rocks forward and back. If you've taken my class before, you know that 3 is my favorite number. I always say rock up 3 times into boat pose, drawing your heart towards the front of your mat. You can always bend your knees, and you can always take your hands behind your legs if you want. Sometimes I'm tight, and sometimes I stay right here. Take 1 more breath. And as we exhale, we're going to rotate to the left. Try to take your right pinky finger towards the floor. Take 1 more breath. Come back to center for 1 breath. And then exhale, rotate to the right. See if you can't take your left pinky finger towards the floor. 1 more breath. Come back to center, full boat pose. And then lower down for 3. Coming up into boat, lowering down for half, or Ardha Navasana, half boat pose, and coming back up and holding it for 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in, and then as you exhale, cross your ankles, come forward onto your hands and knees, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and then making your way into your high plank. Pressing the earth away. And when we're here, think about trying to turn your fingertips in opposite directions. Isometrically spinning your hands in opposite directions to externally rotate your shoulders. Taking 1 more breath. And then press back to downward facing dog. Nice. Go ahead and inhale your left foot to the sky for 3-legged dog. And when we lift here, keep your hips square with the floor. As you're lifting, you're feeling your gluteus maximus on your left side engaging. Bend the knees, stack the hips, opening up, keeping hands weighted evenly, and turn your knee. Make a circle in one direction. And then switch directions. Nice. Inhale, straighten that leg back again for three-legged dog, and then return it to the mat for downward facing dog. Let's inhale our right foot to the sky. Again, hips square with the floor, lifting a little bit higher, feeling your right gluteus maximus engaging, bending the knees, stacking the hips, circling your knee. And then switching directions, waking your hips up here. And then straightening your leg one more time for three-legged dog. Bring your foot down. Inhale to your high plank. Let's shift forward. Find our first chaturanga. And I always like beginning with knees, chest, chin, and then coming into baby cobra, rooting the tops of your feet. We did this the other day. Draw your scapula towards your spine, opening up your heart. One more breath. And downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to your right elbow and hold it. Notice you're in high plank. And then bring your foot back up, three-legged dog. Cross it over to your left elbow for 3, 2, 1. Bring your foot back up for three-legged dog. Bring your foot forward for runner's lunge. Keep your hands on the mat. Root your right foot into the mat. Try to turn your toes to the right, isometrically, feeling a little bit of external rotation of your right hip. Take your left hand back to your left gluteus maximus. Make sure that's engaged. That's responsible. That's the primary mover of this hip action here. You want to drive it with your gluteus maximus. Draw your chest toward your thigh toward your chest, and then bring your hands out to the front of the room. Continuing to root down and lift. One more breath. Exhale your hands down to the mat. Inhale your right foot to the sky. Three-legged dog. Down dog. Inhale, high plank. Shift forward. You can bring your knees, chest, chin down, or go to high to low plank. And then inhale. Up dog or your baby cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot to the sky. Left knee, left elbow, and hold it for 3, 2, 1. Three-legged dog. As you inhale deeply, cross it over and hold for 3, 2, 1. Three-legged dog. Exhale your foot forward. Runner's lunge. Taking your right hand back. Hopefully your right gluteus maximus is engaged, doing its work. Rooting your left foot, trying to turn your toes outward. Draw your chest to your thigh. Draw your thigh towards your chest. Bring your hands out in front. Root to rise here. Take one more breath. Exhale your hands to the mat. Inhale, right, left foot to the sky. Three-legged dog. Down dog. Inhale, high plank. Shift forward. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling, up dog or your baby cobra. And back to downward facing dog. Let's bring our knees down to the mat. If you're like me, I like a wide knee, child's pose. Knees to the edge of the mat, big toes together. And come, press down onto the mat. But let's keep activated here. Let's bring our hands out towards the front of the mat. Your elbows are up off of the mat. And you're rooting your hands just as if we were in our high plank or in our downward facing dog. Know that you are always a breath away from child's pose. You can come here at any time during your practice. Take one more breath. And then continue to press your hands into the mat and rise up, finding your downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot to the sky, three-legged dog. Right knee, right elbow. Inhale back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, cross it over. Inhale back up, three-legged dog. Let's come back into that runner's lunge. And bringing your hands out in front. One more breath here. And this time, we're going to press up, finding our crescent lunge. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then opening up, finding our warrior two. Front of the head reaching to the sky. One more breath. Next inhale, lift your right palm to the sky, reversing your warrior. You can take your hand around your left fingertips to your right hip crease if you want. Or you can keep your hand down your back leg. One more breath. And let's exhale our elbow to our knee. And before we do anything with our left hand, keep your left hand on your hip and make sure that your chest is open, shoulders are stacked, and then lift your hand towards the front of the room, keeping your heart open. One more breath. Inhale, rise up, straighten your front leg, hands on your hips, take a breath in, forward fold, Prasarita, front of the head reaching to the mat. One more breath. Inhale, come up halfway, walk your hands to the back of the mat, framing your left foot. Inhale, your left foot to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee and elbow come together. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, cross it over. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Bring your foot forward, finding that runner's lunge. Reaching out. One more breath. And then coming up, finding your crescent lunge. How are you meeting the mat? How is your breath? Open up, warrior two. Your breath changes throughout your practice, depending on what you're doing and how high the fire is burning. Taking one more breath. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Noticing that you're staying in warrior two alignment from your waist down. One more breath. Exhale, your left elbow to your knee. Right hand on your hip, maintaining your alignment, and then bringing your hand forward to the front of the room or the back of your mat at this point. One more breath. Inhale, rise up, warrior two, straightening your front leg, hands on your hips, taking a breath in, forward fold, finding your Prasarita, front of the head, reaching towards the mat. You can reach through your legs, fingertips pointing to the back of your mat, the back edge of your mat. One more breath. Inhale, rise up halfway, framing your right foot. Inhale, your right foot to the sky, three-legged dog, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Work your way through a vinyasa, or you can press back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Down dog. And let's take 3 breaths in our downward facing dog. One more breath. Stay here for the exhale. Inhale, right foot skyward, right knee, right elbow. We're going to go a little bit faster. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog, cross it over. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Bring your foot forward, finding that runner's lunge one more time, reaching to the front of the room. One more breath. Bring your hands down, bring your left knee next to your right knee. Press up. Take as much time as you need to do this. And lower down, tapping your fingers on the mat. Press up. Woo. Going slowly. Your foot and ankle are wiggle wobbling. That's okay. Your intrinsic muscles are working to find balance here. And then press into warrior three. You can always bring a book or a block if you want. Woo. Bring your hands to your heart. Hands down on the mat, finding your crescent lunge. Exhaling, hands down. Inhale, right foot to the sky. And down dog. Let's do the other side, shall we? It's all about the yoga, all about the balance. Inhale, left foot up. Left knee, left elbow. Three-legged dog as you inhale, cross it over. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Foot forward, runner's lunge. Whew, one more breath. Bring your hands down, right knee next to your left knee. Press Standing and lower down. Take your time tapping your fingers. You can bypass this if you want and go right into Warrior 3. And then press up one more time and folding forward. Warrior 3. One more breath. Hands down on the mat, bending your left knee. Right foot comes behind. Inhale, reach to the sky. Hands to your mat. Inhale, left foot skyward. Down dog. If you wish, work your way through one more vinyasa. And meeting in down dog, bringing your knees down to the mat. Child's pose. 3 breaths. Allowing this time your elbows to drape on the mat. One more breath. Knowing that you can stay here as long as you want, but if you want to join me, come up into a seated position and we'll find some forward folds to begin slowing down our practice. Straightening your legs, pressing through the balls of your feet, lifting your hands to the sky, inhaling. Exhale, lead with the belly button hinge forward. 5 breaths. Finding length with your inhale. Maybe a little deeper forward fold on the exhale. 3 more. 2 more. 1 last. And on that last exhale, only then allow your back to round, head to fall to your knees, and rolling up. Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of your feet together. Drawing a breath in, finding length in your spine, folding forward. Take 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And then allowing your head to drop. Rolling up. And then making your way back onto the mat where we began, with our feet below our knees. Ardha Shavasana. How are you meeting the mat now? How is your breath? And instead of the dynamic bridge we did before, let's just find a good old-fashioned bridge. It's going to be our inversion. Feet below your knees. Lifting your hips to the sky, abducting your hips to bring your thighs towards each other, working one shoulder underneath the other and lifting your hips. This is an inversion. Our hips are higher than our heart. Squeezing your thighs towards each other. You might want to put a block between your legs if you feel your knees splaying out. You want to stabilize your sacrum. And we do that by engaging our glutes and squeezing our thighs towards each other. 1 more breath. And then lower down. Bring your knees up to your chest. Draw circles with your knees. Take 3 circles. You choose the direction, because we're going to switch direction now. Go in the opposite direction. And then stopping in the center. Finding that cannonball 1 more time. Squeezing yourself as tightly as you can, making fists, clenching your toes. And then laying back, opening up. Shavasana. Taking a notice of your breath. Don't do anything to change it. Bear attention to your native breath. Allowing yourself to sink into the mat and let go at the same time. Begin deepening your breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. Reaching overhead, stretching. Drawing your knees up to your chest. And then rolling to a favorite side. Taking a moment to collect yourself. Pressing up with eyes closed to a seated position. Bring your hands together at your heart center. I so appreciate you and sharing your practice with me. May you find love, light, happiness, peace, and laughter today, tomorrow, and always. And know that the love and light in me honors the love and light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you.